Yeah, so when I started teaching, I was always exploring with technology, trying to bring in different ways to engage students in the classroom. And when in my field, there's been a little section of teachers that do that, which is in the English language learning field that's called CAL, computer assisted language learning, those people are few and far between. They're kind of like one person at each school, and traditionally speaking. And so I was kind of off doing my own thing, and then I started presenting, just sharing a little bit about what I was doing that was maybe a bit different, using iPads in the classroom. I think from the early days when I got the first iPad, I was using it as a replacement for a document camera and those kinds of fun things. So then people started coming to my sessions and wanting to see what I was doing. And from there, I started podcasting. I started kind of doing more presentations, getting invited to places, and then writing articles about what those same things that I was doing at the same time. And so that all kind of, built up, and I became a blogger for DIESOL, several years ago, and so I was kind of the primary EdTech blogger for DIESOL International, which has been a lot of fun, sharing a lot of different ideas with those, and then that kind of spread out into the saying, hey, it's time to put some of these ideas all together into a book and kind of share with teachers some creative ways to have fun with the class, maybe approach activities in a different way, think about what your pedagogy is, and engage with a little bit of technology, but hopefully not too overwhelming at the same time. So I think that there are teachers out there who are struggling with engaging their students in ways that are modern for them. And so this book is meant to help teachers take the steps to bridge the gap between the way that they've taught in the past and what the students are currently expecting. So one of them is, this is not really an AI book, although AI is included inside of it because, that conversation is part of my explorations. But one of the book activities is called idioimaginative explorations, and that's not going to spell out very easily, but the idea is, when we have idioms in English, students love studying idioms, right? And they have a lot of fun with them, but they don't always make sense to them. When they say, well, why is a piece of cake? Why does that mean easy, right? And they can't really figure that out. And so the idea behind the activity is to get students trying to build images that combine both the real meaning of the activity or of the idiom and the idiomatic expression itself. And so how do they create an image that is something like a piece of cake, but also represents doing something easily? And so what they have to do is they're prompting and typing with the AI bots and trying to get it to build pictures. And as they're doing that, they're exploring what that language actually means. So they're really spending time digging deep into it, and the real meaning and the vocabulary that you might need to be able to describe it. And then they're iterating over and over again until they get a picture that they're satisfied with. And so it's a really simple way to hand off the work to the students so they find things that they're interested in, but they're going to do a much, much, much deeper dive and have a lot more fun and retain the language because they're building the meaning for themselves instead of just a list that says piece of cake equals something easy to do, right? And that's kind of the traditional, draw the line between the left side of the paper and the right side of the paper on an old worksheet. It's like, none of that stuff, right? Let's actually engage with the learning. And so this is one of the activities that I think a lot of people have resonated with, and students can do it quickly at any time, even as a break or as a full-on activity with several different ones at the same. The biggest thing about this book is, for me, is that it's hopefully a Trojan horse in that the activities are there, right? You can do the activities, and I also, every single activity comes with a supplemental resource so that when teachers say, hey, I like this idea, I want to launch it, but it's going to take me a long time to teach the students how to do it, every single one comes with the fully built out slide deck that teachers can then customize to the specific needs of their class and their students. And so that'll get them hopefully 85% of the way started with everything. But the inside of that, the goal is that teachers think about their creativity with classes, and it's not about any given one tool. Those tools change all the time, right? We've seen it happen. And so the idea is, hey, this tool is great, but it's the activity that we're really talking about. And you might think of different ways to apply it to a tool that you have access to, or you might think of, say, hey, I like this idea, but I don't want to do parts, I like parts 1 and 2. I don't want to do parts 3 and 4. Can I just take it and make it my own? And the real goal is for teachers to then start thinking of, okay, how do I make activities my own, customized to my students' needs, and not just what's given, in do it this way and it must be that. And so the goal is that it's exploring creativity and building a little bit of confidence in that exploration. Next up is just sharing the book. I'm going around, I've got presentations, and I do a lot of sharing online, in particular at LinkedIn. So if you want to find just my kind of, you know, sometimes less developed, but as I'm exploring, I'm sharing type of things on LinkedIn at Brent G. Warner. I'm on other social medias too at the same ones, but not as much. I think LinkedIn is where I'm mostly at.